Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name's Rhiannon and as you can tell by the title and the thumbnail, today I'm bringing to you a massive book unboxing video. Now, I do have a very big stack next to me here. Honestly, it is so heavy and I'm a little bit embarrassed, but there is actually a reason behind this. So a few weeks ago, I decided to place a Waterstones order. I had held off for quite a while actually, but as some of you may know, I have started a new job this month and I kind of wanted to treat myself for that because I couldn't really do it after I was told that I was successful in my interview because my car broke down and it cost quite a bit of money. So at that point, it wasn't really feasible for me to splurge on myself. However, over the Easter holiday, I just decided to go for it. Very typically, a few days after I placed that first order, Waterstones revealed that they were going to be doing double stamps for the Easter weekend, which if you don't know, as part of Waterstones' loyalty scheme, for every £10 you spend on a book, you get 1+ stamp, and once you collect 10+ stamps, you get £10 off. Double stamps, of course, means that for every £10 you spend, you get 2 stamps, which ultimately does save you money in the long run. And so I couldn't resist, guys. I placed another order. I did place a few pre-orders actually. That was the majority of my second order. However, I have thrown a couple of other books in there and these books are what I'm going to be unboxing today for you. I feel like this is a good point to just get on into the unboxing, so let's go ahead and get started. I have tried to keep these books in some order to make this video a little bit more structured for you guys. I of course don't know what is in each box, however I have been stacking them as they've been arriving, so as I mentioned, hopefully that means that there is some sort of order to this and I'm not just going to be picking out certain books that are further along in the series and things like that. So hopefully this video isn't too chaotic, but this is the first thing that I'm going to unbox. It's quite a chunky one, so I'm excited to see what it is, and I'm notoriously bad at opening these boxes, so let's see whether I can do it. Yes, I can for this one. Now, can you guys get a sneak peek? No, but we have some sprayed edges, which is a good sign, and oh my goodness, you guys, can you see what it is? It is very reflective, I'm sorry. But this is the Waterstones exclusive edition of Lies We Sing to the Sea by Sarah Underwood. I will just give you a close-up of the cover because it is beautiful, but this is actually one that is a duplicate copy for me. I'm really trying not to own duplicate editions of books. However, I believe that this was in the March Illumicrate box, which is why I now have 2 copies. This gold one is actually the Illumicrate edition. I did just have it on my TBR cart, so you can kind of see the differences there. This one is of course extremely golden and this one is the original cover, which is of course white with just the specks of gold. Now I do think I prefer the original cover, which is why I did still purchase the Waterstones exclusive edition, and this is also a book that I think I'm gonna absolutely love, which is why I'm not too mad at myself for having 2 copies of it. The Waterstones exclusive edition though has blue sprayed edges, as you can see, and then it is also signed by the author, which is a really nice touch. All I know about this one is that it is a story about Penelope's 12 handmaidens. So essentially, in the cursed kingdom of Ithaca, 12 maidens are sacrificed every summer in order to please the god Poseidon. In this one, our main character Leto has escaped the curse's mark until now. This sounds like it's going to be right up my street. You guys know I love my Greek myth retellings. There has been a lot of hype about this book leading up to its release, and I'm so happy to finally own a copy, especially one as beautiful as this. Next up, we have a thin one, so let's see what is in here. This is really difficult already. There we go. And in this one, we have a murder mystery book. Okay, that was a bit of a struggle, but I finally managed to get it out, and this one is the Mysterious Sefera Styles by Agatha Christie. Now, I know some of you might be aware that I do already own this book. However, if you've seen my bookshelf tour, you'll know that the edition that I had of this book was a lot shorter than the other ones, and it really did irritate me. So I finally done it and bought the edition that matches. This is the first novel in which we follow Detective Hercule Poirot. Again, Again, if you guys have followed me for a while, you'll know that I absolutely love Agatha Christie's books, especially the mysteries surrounding Hercule Poirot. I do have quite the collection now. You will also see a few more of these books pop up in this unboxing, and this one isn't actually adding to my TBR because I have read this one. I give it 4 stars. I really did enjoy it, and that's why I then went on to purchase another copy of it. Of course, I will be getting rid of my old copy to make room for this one, but I'm so happy to have this now. If you guys don't know, one of the major side characters in these books, Captain Hastings, goes to a country house to visit some of his old friends, and whilst he's there, the mistress of the house is actually poisoned. Luckily though, Hercule Poirot has been staying nearby, and he is brought in to try and solve the case and catch the murderer. This is such a good introduction into the Hercule Poirot mysteries, and as I've mentioned, I'm really happy to own this edition now, and I can't wait to see how it looks with all the other books in my collection. The next box is another thick one, so there might be a few different books in here. That's the first one I've missed, you guys, but I have gotten into it. We have a few books in there. There's your little sneak peek. So the first one I have is sticking on theme. This is Dumb Witness by Agatha Christie, which is another book in the Poirot Murder Mystery series. I do have a few books that I need to unbox that are going to be set before this one. However, this is one that I've actually seen the ITV adaptation of. If you're not aware, a lot of the Agatha Christie mysteries have been adapted, and I vividly remember this one. Now, again, I'm not quite sure who the murderer was, but I know the story and I know how it all kind of plays out and who in particular is the key to solving this whole mystery. And I'm up to the point now where I did want to expand my collection a little bit more, which is why I have gone ahead and purchased this one. The synopsis is quite short, so I will just read it to you. It says, everyone blamed Emily's accident on a rubber ball left on the stairs by her frisky terrier, but the more she thought about her fall, the more convinced she became that one of her relatives was trying to kill her. On April 17th, she wrote of her suspicions in a letter to Hercule Poirot. Mysteriously, he didn't receive the letter until June 28th, by which time Emily was already dead. And the other book that was in that package was Clytemnestra by Costanza Casati. This is a beautiful book. It's very reflective, so I don't know how well you'll be able to see that, but this is another Greek myth retelling. It's one that I've seen a lot of hype about online, and it is one that I've had my eye on for such a long time. However, I finally decided to just go ahead and buy it, and I'm so glad that I did. I won't read you the whole synopsis for this one, but I will read you a little description at the bottom. It says, set in the world of ancient Greece and told through the eyes of its greatest heroine, Clytemnestra is a tale of power and prophecy, of hatred, love, and an unforgettable queen who fiercely dealt out death to those who wronged her. That just sounds amazing. We have some stunning artwork on the end pages as well, which you guys know I love to see. I will probably pick this one up when we get into the summer months, just because I feel like that is the best time to read Greek myth retellings. They always make me want to plan a spontaneous trip to Greece, and so I feel like that will be the perfect time to sit down and read it. As you can see, the next parcel is a big one. It is quite heavy as well, so again, there might be a couple of books in here. We shall see. Yeah, there are definitely a few in there, and I'm so excited to see what they are. So let's give this a shake. Oh, that's a clue for you guys if you can see that. And then we have, oh, some more there as well. Right, I'm not gonna focus too much on the synopsis for each of these ones because, as you guys can tell, these are more books from the Hercule Poirot Murder Mystery series. We have Death in the Clouds, Murder in the Mews, Cards on the Table, and Murder in Mesopotamia. I know there are quite a few in here, but as I mentioned, I placed one order first, and then because of double stamps, I went ahead and bought a few more. So this is the result of that. I am trying to buy them in order as well, and at the minute, I own everything up to 3-Act Tragedy, I believe. So all the books after that I will slowly be collecting. But yeah, these are 4 more that I needed to add, and I do just want to mention here as well that I am trying to read one of these murder mystery books a month. So I will get through them relatively quickly, and it's always nice to have them on hand as well so that I can pick them up physically or listen to the audiobook but pour through these as well, because they do contain maps and certain things like that. They have a view of the room so that you can see where the body was, where they found the murder weapon, that sort of thing. There are a lot of different details in here that help tie the mystery together, and so I do like to have these physical editions so that I can get the most out of my reading experience. Next up, I've chosen this one. I feel like I'm going to struggle with this one. There we go. This one is, oh, I'm excited for this one. Wow, this is beautiful. So in case you couldn't tell, this is Atlanta by Jennifer Saint. This is a Waterstones edition, which is signed by the author, but wow, look at this artwork, you guys. Isn't this beautiful? I'm not sure how well you'll be able to see the author signature because she has signed it in gold, but it is there, I promise you, and wow, this is beautiful. Now, I don't know if you'll be able to see it on the shelves behind me. I think they're here. I have two of this author's other Greek myth retellings, which have the same look on the spine. This is the newest release, and of course I had to pre-order it. I think I've pre-ordered this since about a year, honestly, and I've been patiently waiting for it to be released, and now it's here. I'm so excited to finally be able to dive into it. The synopsis of this reads, when a daughter is born to the king of Arcadia, she brings only disappointment. Abandoned on a mountainside, the defenseless infant Atlanta is left to the mercy of a passing mother bear and raised alongside the cubs under the protective eye of the goddess Artemis. Swearing that she will prove her worth alongside the famed heroes of Greece, Atlanta leaves her forest to join Jason's bands of Argonauts. But can she carve out her own place in the legends in a world made for men? I feel like this is going to be such an amazing book. I love the story of Jason and the Argonauts, and so to see Atlanta in that setting is going to be amazing. Of course, this is going to focus a lot about Atlanta herself and women's positions in this time period, and so I definitely feel like it's going to be a feminist retelling that focuses on what a woman can actually bring to the men in this society. Next up, we have another little parcel, so I feel like there will only be one or two books in here, but we have, yeah, there's one in here, and let me try and get it out. Can you tell what it is? It is, of course, another Poirot book. This one is One to Buckle My Shoe by Agatha Christie, and this actually comes after Dumb Witness. So I believe that this may be the last Poirot book that I currently own. For you guys that are interested, I'm going off the reading order on the back of these books. And the next one after this is Evil Under the Sun, which I don't think I bought. This is another one where I've watched the ITV adaptation of it. Tom and I watched it not too long ago, actually. And I feel like it'll be interesting to actually read the story rather than watch it, so I'm very happy to have this one, and again I can't wait to add it to my collection and just see my collection grow. Okay, we have another big box, so hopefully again there will be a few different books in here. Oh, there's only one. Okay, let's see what it is because it's packed in really tightly. Right, I've got it. There we go. But this is, of course, this is the Bone Shard War by Andrea Stewart. If you look on these shelves behind me, I think that the first two are somewhere here. But this is the third book, and I believe the last book in this trilogy. I may be wrong, but from what I have gathered, it is a fantasy trilogy. I can't actually tell you anything about this book in particular. One, because it's the third book in a trilogy, and two, because I haven't actually read the first or second books yet, which I know is awful of me. I'm really trying to get better at not buying the next book in a series if I haven't read that first book. But my issue is that a lot of UK hardcovers tend to go out of print, and I'm just too scared that I'm not going to have a matching set. So I did buy this one when I saw it. It was a pre-order actually, but it was coming out pretty soon, which is why I do now have it. It is a beautiful book. Oh, the series is called The Drowning Empire. Sorry, so for those of you who are interested, that is the series name. The first book is The Bone Shard Daughter, and yeah, as I mentioned, this is the third book. It is a chunky one and I'm definitely scared, but this is a series that I've heard such good things about. I cannot wait to start it, and I feel like now that I have the whole trilogy, I can just dive in and binge it, and that is normally how I tend to read fantasy books. I do like having the next book to hand, and so this is perfect. I'm very happy to have it, and it is a beautiful book, as I mentioned, so it's going to fit very nicely with the rest of my books on my shelves. Okay, this is a big box, you guys, so I feel like there are going to be quite a bit in here. They have also had to sellotape it, but there is a little pulley tab to the side, so hopefully this one works. There we go. And yeah, as you can tell, there are quite a lot of books stuffed in there, so I will just grab this one first. So here we have The Valkyrie by Kate Hartsfield. I first heard mention of this one in one of Becca from Becca and the Books' videos. I can't quite remember what it was. I feel like it was one of her unboxing videos, and she did get a special edition of this, and so as she was describing it, I just thought it would definitely be for me, which is why I've gone ahead and bought myself a copy. This one has a very long synopsis, so I will just just read you the little snippet at the bottom. It says, from Sunday Times best-selling author Kate Hartfield comes a glorious lyrical retelling of one of Norse mythology's greatest epics. As well as my love for Greek myths, I do also enjoy learning about Norse mythology. I've read a few books inspired by Norse mythology. I love the TV show Vikings, and so when I heard about this one I couldn't refuse, and I've definitely been more interested in the Valkyries ever since I watched Thor. If you don't know, there's a character in there called Valkyrie who is in fact a Valkyrie herself, and she's just fantastic. She's so badass and I absolutely love her. So yeah, that is why I picked up this one. It is a beautiful book and I can't wait to get to it. Next up, surprise surprise, we have another 3 Poirot books, which again I won't go into too much detail on, but here we have Sad Side Press, Appointment with Death, and Hercule Poirot's Christmas. I'm not sure if there are any more Poirot books in this stack. I honestly can't quite remember, but yeah, happy to have these ones again and I can't wait to get to them. And then next up, I'm so happy about this, you guys. I have volumes 2, 3 and 4 of The Promised Neverland, which is by Kaio Shirai, and the art is by Pasuka Demizu. The Promised Neverland is actually the first ever manga that I read and I really did love it. However, all the other volumes were out of stock when I'd gone to buy them, and every time I've checked since, again, they have been out of stock. On the off chance though, I decided to have another look this time round, and as you can see, they were in stock, they were available, and I'm so happy to finally own some more of these books. It is an expansive series, and I think I bought volumes 2 to 5, so there is another one in here somewhere. But this is a horror manga, which I wasn't actually expecting. I naively thought it was going to be a retelling of Peter Pan or something like that. However, it is very dark. We have a lot of things happening to children here. So essentially, there is an orphanage where children get sent, and then once they get there, they don't realise that the people that work there are actually going to be experimenting on them and sometimes killing them, until that is our main character comes in and finds this information out. So I read the first one about a year ago, maybe even longer, and I'm so happy now to finally own some more volumes so that I can dive into these and continue on with the story. So the second volume looks like this and it's called Control. Then we have the third volume, which is called Destroy, and the fourth volume is I Want to Live. Right, we're almost there, guys. I've got 3 little parcels left. This one is a thin one, so let's just dive in and see what it is. Perfect timing. This is volume 5, I believe. Yeah, here we have it. This is volume 5. It's called Escape, and as I mentioned previously, so happy to have this. Can't wait to start the series again, and I think I might take a day and just sit down and binge these because I really loved reading the first one and I can't wait to carry on and see what actually happens with these characters. Next up is this tiny one, and I can't think what it would be, to be honest with you guys, so again, let me just dive in. I'm struggling with this one a bit, but this is... oh, I forgot I ordered this one. Fab. This is My Hero Academia Volume 2. As you can imagine, I do already own the first one, and this was actually on sale on Amazon, which is why I'd forgotten about it, and I decided to buy it there and then. As you can tell, I'm kind of getting into my manga again, and yeah, I just wanted to have this volume, especially as it was on sale, because manga can get quite expensive, especially if you plan on buying the physical editions of all of them, which I would love to do, but yeah, there are quite a few, and I thought whilst I've seen it there, whilst it's on sale, I would pick it up, which is what I've decided to do. For this one, it says, what would the world be like if 80% of the population manifested superpowers called quirks? Heroes and villains would be battling it out everywhere. Being a hero would mean learning to use your power. But where would you go to study? The Hero Academy, of course. But what would you do if you were one of the 20% who were born quirkless? I feel like this is going to be such a fun manga series. I love my superheroes, and so this should be perfect. Very happy to own this one now. I haven't actually read the first one, so I will have to sit down one day and read them. But yeah, very happy to have this one and expand my manga collection a bit more. And then I believe that this is the last package, you guys. I do have all the boxes scattered around me, so hopefully I haven't missed anything. But this is again another one from Amazon, and this one is Mindhunter by John Douglas and Mark Olshaker. For those of you who don't know, I am very much into my true crime, and I recently started watching Mindhunter on Netflix, which focuses on 2 detectives who are tasked with finding a murderer, and then in order to do so they interview other different serial killers to try and find out who is committing these crimes and why. It's a fantastic series. I would highly recommend it if you haven't watched it already. I haven't actually finished it, so I need to get a move on with that, But this was actually a pick for Chloe's Crime Scene Corner. I can't remember which month it was. It might be this month actually, so I'm definitely falling behind. However, once she said that this was a book club pick, I just had to buy it and read it with everyone else. If I have missed the read along, it's fine. I'll go back and look through everyone's thoughts afterwards. But it essentially gave me the kick I needed to finally get my hands on the book. I'm not sure how it is structured, to be honest with you guys. I think there are a few photos in here. Yep. Let me just show you some of these. So we have Edmund Kemper here, who was a serial killer, and we have Robert Hansen with a picture of his house as well, which is super creepy. But yeah, it's going to be really interesting. It's going to talk a lot about serial killer profiling, so essentially looking at what actually makes serial killers become serial killers, which I just think is going to be so interesting. But yeah, it says John Douglas has looked evil in the eye and made a vocation of understanding it. In Mindhunter, the FBI special agent who was the inspiration for Jack Crawford's character in The Silence of the Lambs and who lent the filmmakers his expertise explains how he invented and established the practice of criminal profiling. He also discusses individual case histories, including those of Jeffrey Dahmer, Charles Manson, Ted Bundy, and the Atlanta child murders. With the fierce page-turning power of a best-selling novel, yet terrifyingly true, Mindhunter is a true crime classic. I wouldn't say I'm excited to get to this one because I feel like it's going to be quite heavy, but I am very interested to read it and see what information I can get from it. I feel like it's definitely going to be a creepy but interesting read, and yeah, I can't wait to read it alongside Chloe and the fellow members of Chloe's Crime Scene Corner. Okay guys, so there we have it. These are all of the books from this unboxing. I wouldn't normally go ahead and buy this much, however, as I mentioned, I did decide to treat myself, and then Waterstones just made me treat myself even more. But I'm so excited for each and every single one of these books. I feel like I'm gonna love them, and I'm really happy to have expanded my Poirot collection and some of my manga collection as well, whilst also adding some fantasy books and Greek myth retellings to my shelves as well. If you have made it up to this point in the video and would like to let me know that you're still here, please go ahead and leave me a stack of books as the emoji of the video. I have had to just put this stack down because it's way too heavy for me, so I definitely feel like that is a fitting emoji. And if you don't have anything in particular that you would like to say, but you would like to let me know that you're still here, definitely go ahead and do that now. I say it all the time, but seeing you guys comment the emoji of the video truly does mean the world to me, and it baffles me that you guys watched these all the way through. As well as that, please don't forget to click the like button if you like this video, and the subscribe button if you'd like to see more content from me. But that is it for me today guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon in my next video. Goodbye!